The night my neighbor knocked on my door wearing a robe and told me I wasn't getting into my hot tub alone, I thought she was joking. I had no idea that a few minutes later, sitting beneath the quiet stars beside her, I would finally understand why she had come, and why the woman I had barely spoken to for months was carrying a pain almost identical to mine. 3 months earlier, my life had changed in a way I never expected. My wife, Emma, had passed away after a long illness, leaving behind a quiet house, a half-finished garden, and memories hiding in every corner. I had learned how to go to work, pay bills, answer emails, and smile when people asked how I was doing. But every evening, when I walked through the front door, the silence reminded me that I was only pretending to be okay. I had bought the small hot tub in our backyard because Emma had always dreamed of having one. She used to say that someday we would sit outside on cold nights, wrapped in towels, watching the stars and forgetting about the rest of the world. After she was gone, I couldn't bring myself to use it. If you believe kindness can give someone a second chance when they need it most, take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Shadow of Kindness. Sometimes, one small act of compassion can change a life in ways we never see coming. My neighbor, Claire, had moved in across the street almost a year earlier. She was friendly but private, the kind of person who waved from her driveway but rarely crossed the invisible line between being a neighbor and being a friend. I knew she lived alone, knew she loved gardening, and knew she sometimes sat on her porch late at night with a cup of tea. What I didn't know was that she had lost her husband 2 years earlier. One Friday night, after another exhausting week, I finally decided to turn on the hot tub. I stood beside it for several minutes, staring at the water as steam rose into the cool air. I almost turned it off. Then I heard 3 soft knocks at my front door. When I opened it, Claire stood there wearing a simple robe, her hair loosely tied back, and an expression that was both nervous and determined. She glanced toward the backyard and then looked at me. She told me I wasn't getting in that hot tub alone. For the first time in months, I almost laughed. It felt strange, unfamiliar, and strangely comforting. I asked her why she cared. She hesitated before admitting that she had seen me standing beside that hot tub many nights, never actually getting inside. She said she recognized the look on my face because she had worn it herself after losing her husband. She wasn't there to flirt, judge, or pry. She simply didn't want another grieving person to spend another night pretending they were fine. Those words broke something open inside me. We walked into the backyard, and Claire sat at the edge of the hot tub. She told me about her husband, Daniel, and how she had spent the first year after his death avoiding the places they had loved together. She stopped gardening because he used to help her plant flowers. She stopped cooking because every recipe reminded her of him. She even stopped listening to their favorite songs because happiness felt like betrayal. I told her about Emma. I told her about the hospital, the final days, and the terrible guilt I carried because there were moments when I had secretly wished for the suffering to end. Claire didn't judge me. She simply reminded me that wanting someone you love to stop hurting doesn't mean you love them any less. For the first time since Emma died, I cried in front of someone. The hot tub steamed around us while the night remained perfectly still. There was no romance in that moment, no dramatic confession, and no miracle that erased our grief. There were simply 2 lonely people sitting together and realizing they didn't have to carry everything alone. Over the following weeks, something changed between us. Claire started bringing coffee on Saturday mornings. I helped her repair a broken fence. We planted flowers in her backyard, and she helped me finish the garden Emma had started. Slowly, the house that had felt like a museum of memories began feeling like a home again. One afternoon, Claire found an old photograph of Emma tucked inside a gardening book. Instead of becoming uncomfortable, she smiled and said that Emma must have been someone worth missing. I nodded, unable to speak. Months passed. We continued spending time together, sometimes talking for hours, sometimes sitting quietly without needing to say anything. We didn't try to replace the people we'd lost. Instead, we learned how to carry their memories forward. Then one evening, Claire knocked on my door again. This time she wasn't wearing a robe. She was holding 2 cups of coffee in a small envelope. Inside was a photograph of Daniel standing beside a garden he had planted years earlier. She handed it to me and said she wanted to finally stop hiding the happiest parts of her past. I understood exactly what she meant. We walked toward the backyard together. The hot tub was glowing softly beneath the evening sky. I looked at the empty chair where Emma used to sit and realized something important. Moving forward didn't mean leaving her behind. It meant allowing the love she gave me to become part of the life I still had. Claire sat beside me, and neither of us said anything for a while. Sometimes healing doesn't arrive with a grand gesture. Sometimes it knocks quietly on your door wearing a robe and simply refuses to let you face another lonely night by yourself. If this story touched your heart, please like the video, share it with someone who may need a little kindness today, and subscribe to Shadow of Kindness. Your support helps these stories reach people who might be silently struggling. Before the ending, I have one special request. Comment, kindness finds us when we need it most, if you believe no one should have to face their darkest nights alone. And as the stars appeared above us, I finally understood what Claire had given me that night. She hadn't taken away my grief. She had simply reminded me that grief and hope could exist in the same heart. The hot tub was never really about the water. It was about opening a door. And sometimes, the person standing on the other side is the reason you finally learn how to live again.